My name is Malika. I am the Climate Reality Project Newark, Delaware Chapter Chair. Today we have Mashika, who is our social media specialist, Carissa, who is our secretary, and Jim, who is a part of our leadership community and spearheads many campaigns. We're going to talk to you about voting, health, and much more. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it off. If you live in Delaware, our registration deadline is tomorrow, October 10th. Now, if you would like to get an absentee ballot, the deadline to request the ballot is October 30th, and you want to make sure that you return that by mail before November 3rd. Now, November 3rd is our election day, and our polls will be open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. Now, did you know the easiest way to get your voter registration card is when you register, you'll be sent the registration card in the mail, and it will have your confirmation that you are registered to vote with your name, address, and your polling station where you'll be voting. So if you haven't already, please register to vote. And if you were like me, as soon as you turn 18, you are part of the Rock the Vote campaign. I remember when I was in high school, I was super excited when I turned 18, and I was a part of the Rock the Vote club. And when it came time to vote, I was at the polls, super ready to make a difference. I think I was probably the youngest person at my polling station, and I just had so much energy because I knew that my vote counted, that I was using my voice, and I was making a difference. Now I'm going to turn it over to Carissa to tell you about voting and much more.
Hello, so I'm Carissa. I'm currently a remote member, and I'm living in Rhode Island. So I will be speaking to the Rhode Island voting requirements. Our deadline to register to vote actually just passed. It was this past Sunday. However, the deadline to submit mail ballot applications is this upcoming Tuesday, October 13th, which is available online. And then I actually received my ballot today in the mail, which I'll be looking forward to filling out. The early in-person voting period begins on Wednesday, October 15th, and then ends on Monday, November 2nd. And then obviously we have the election on Tuesday, November 3rd.
Thank you so much for that. Jim?
Sure. So I am in Pennsylvania. So we're covering multiple states here today. I do voting by mail, which we have here in Pennsylvania. And so we get a voter registration card. There's one. It's simple. Just sign it. It tells you where your polling place is if you're going to go vote in person. I've voted in person many times in the past, but between the pandemic and being far away from my voting place, I decided to do it in the mail this time. And so you can still request your ballot here in Pennsylvania. You've only got a few days left, I believe. Here's the ballot. Here's mine ready to go back. I got it 3 days ago. I opened it up. It's quite simple. I suggest anyone, no matter where you are, if you're voting by mail, read the directions first, because we all know they can be very finicky. For example, it says, check the box for who you're voting for. Don't fill it in. Don't put a funny mark on it. Make sure it's just a check. And when you're done, make sure you sign the back of the envelope and date it. If you don't, it won't be counted. So just pay attention to these simple things. And I think whoever you are, young, old, it doesn't matter. It's really important we vote. Especially this time around, I think we have some big choices. So however your heart and your head is leading you, if you don't go and you don't vote, please don't say anything afterwards. Don't complain or anything else, because you haven't given your voice. And so let's get, if we're lucky, I think get 60% of the vote out. Let's see it go up to 80% this time. People who have never voted, take your time and vote. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Mashika?
Okay, thank you all, Carissa and Jim and Malika. Again, my name is Mashika. I'm the social media specialist for the Climate Reality Project in Newark, Delaware chapter. I'm representing multiple states, as I said in the prior conversation. And if you can, Jim, you can go ahead and start the slides for me. So our chapter, we partnered with Rock the Vote. Just like Malika, I was a part of Rock the Vote early on, middle school, I would say, and then big time high school when they were giving out pens and everything. And I remember the BET crew came and took the gifted and talented students, and they were really trying to get us to understand about Rock the Vote, especially for those that were in the government and civics courses that semester, so that we could really understand our decisions for when we become eligible to vote. And when we're also because we're part of Climate Reality, you can go to the next slide, Turn Out for Tomorrow. And I didn't put the quote up, but the most important thing about Turn Out for Tomorrow is that every decision that we make, especially with voting, they always say that what you do now affects for not even this year, but the prior years. I mean, the next 4 years, the next 6-10 years. So like our founder was talking about, the decisions, the budgets, especially I grew up in Maryland, and so I'm even seeing as discussions are coming about budget decisions and how it has affected the school system and how it has affected the Chesapeake Bay and things of that nature. So Turn Out for Tomorrow, if you use the Climate Realities website, it will give you opportunities to register to vote. I would say don't even worry about pledging to vote. Just make the decision today to register to vote. If you're concerned about your registration status, you have that ability right there. And to also request an absentee ballot. Absentee ballot is very much the same as the mail-in ballot, so don't get confused with that. You can request the same. With me, as someone that travels, it's pretty much the same for me. I don't get nervous about that because I'm used to it. A lot of people who are in larger states are used to these absentee ballots, or those who are part of the military are very used to the idea of absentee ballots. And you can go to the next one. This is the one I wanted to show you. And this last slide that I have is just showing undecided voters. This is the one that concerns me. Even though it's a small percentage, and they were just talking about this in the news, it's about 11% of people that's undecided, but that's still a huge percent of those who are deciding to vote. So even though it's evened out of whether they vote for Trump, whether they vote for Biden, really we're not here to tell you who to vote for. The thing is turning out to vote. We need to make a decision to vote, to exercise our rights. So many people have made sacrifices for us to have this right. And for those to say, well, I'm undecided, I haven't made a decision, to not make a decision, as my father says, either you do or you don't. There is no may or may not. It's either you're going to do it or you're not. And I mean, that he used to talk about that with cleaning. Oh, I'm going to get to it. Either you're going to do it or you're not. So the same with voting. Either you're going to vote or you're not. And so all these others and undecideds, that's 11% of those that's just not going to show up. And that changes a huge, those are people, those are numbers. So with such a small percentile, when you have 50 to 40%, that changes everything. So I want everyone to pay attention to that. Those 11 percenters that's undecided, that you're the ones that we're really pushing at. We want you to make a decision to vote because you are the ones that's going to help shape and change what we want here. We're not going to tell you who to vote for or what to do, but we're trying to tell you that we want you to make decisions, to turn out, to help us with the legislations and everything. And that's all that I want to show you. That's it.
Very, very good. Thank you so much for that, Mashika. So really quick, I just want you guys to know that our environment, our earth, that's something that we all have in common. So it is time that we join together and, you know, do community cleanups. If you are going to your car and you see litter on the ground, you know, carry 2 plastic bags with you or 2 bags, whatever. If you have the reusable bags, just carry something with you so you can throw away your trash. And on your way to the car, you can also pick up trash around your car. You can pick up trash when you're at the trash can if you see trash on the ground. Help us by doing your part to reduce the air pollution and the water pollution and improve both our air and water quality. I don't know about you guys, but as I said on the prior video, I have asthma and I am very, very afraid during this uncertain time. So for me, for everyone I know, like having clean air and clean water, it is like vital to our survival. And the time is now for us to come together and make our environment a little bit more eco-friendlier, healthier, and sustainable. Jem, I saw that you had your hand up.
Yeah, I want to just follow up on what you're saying because it is critical. For me, it is as you think about who you're voting for this time, and that requires some real thought and some time dedicated to it. I think vote for the earth. Make sure whomever you're voting for, at the national level, at the local level, I don't care. Vote for our mother because we are at a critical point. We are making decisions now that will decide how our kids and our grandkids live, whether it'll be healthy or unhealthy. You hear Malika, she's already got these issues with breathing. I have some as well, but I'm much older. So truly, truly, truly vote with the earth. Listen to the different camps, see what you believe. Take a look at the Green New Deal that AOC has put out there and really think about it when you vote because it is one of the yes, the economy is important. Yes, healthcare is important. Yes, all these other things are important. But if we lose our environment, nothing else matters. So please vote with the mother. She'll thank you.
Yes, thank you. Carissa, Mashika, would you guys like to add anything?
He said it better than I think anyone else could say it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing for the undecided voters to really think about this because we need you. We need you to step up and make a decision this voting season and continually because the legislations they do come up and it's not just a every 4-year thing. This, you have to keep showing up. You have to keep going to the city halls and paying attention to what's happening in your community because if you don't, these situations will continue to happen where like we were in a team meeting and a lady was saying that they in the tourist areas they just pretty much feel like their voice isn't heard, and that happens when you don't know when these city hall meetings are happening and they're making decisions behind your back. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Carissa, did you want to add anything?
No, I don't have anything else to add besides making sure you know your state's deadlines, you have your application, and you're good to go, and you make sure that you're voting with the earth in mind.
Thank you for that. And some people have said that they feel like their vote doesn't matter. Well, your voice matters. We're here to tell you that you as a person matter. And only together can we make informed decisions about our country, our states. So turn out for tomorrow and rock the vote on November 3rd at the polls. If you can vote early, like some states do have early voting, please go to the polls. If you are high risk like myself and so many others, wear your mask, go to the polls when you can, or use your mail-in ballot or your absentee ballot. There are many different ways that you can vote. So make sure you exercise your right and vote.
For people, one more quick thing, if I may. For people who think their votes don't count, and I've been hearing a lot of that. I do every time there's an election. I want to point out that our leader in Climate Reality Project, Al Gore, he would have won the presidential election when he ran with just a few more votes in Florida. Each vote matters, each and every one. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, I agree. And like Mashika said earlier, so many people have fought for our right to vote, both male and female. Let's not waste all of that hard work, because this has been years in the making, decades. So let us turn out and rock the vote like our lives depend on it, because essentially they do. This is our environment. This is our world. This is our earth, and we only have one earth. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time to, yes, let's make some good trouble. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time to listen to the voting in your state and our states, and coming together with one common interest, which is our Mother Earth. Please tune in for another episode from yours truly, the Climate Reality Project, Newark, Delaware chapter. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great day and an awesome weekend. Ciao, ciao. Bye.